Yeah, no, so anyway, speaking of documentaries,
Oh, Lord, we were playing a game.
God, yeah, no, speaking of documentaries, did I ever tell you about how I ended up watching, like, the first episode of the Tiger King documentary?
Oh, Lord. Oh, right, that existed. I forgot that existed.
Oh, yeah, no, you want to hear?
How do you end up watching that?
Yeah, no, so my stepdad walked up to me. He was like, hey, you want to watch this show called Tiger King? It's this really cool show about this dude who raised the zoo and got arrested. I was like, oh, fuck, this sounds like a really cool thriller. And when I was watching it for the first time, I didn't know it was a documentary, so I was just like, okay, they're just doing the world build. I'm waiting for the bit where we start focusing on the characters, and
You didn't know about Tiger King going in.
and then I waited for the bit where they just started focusing more on the characters, and the writing would be like a TV show, and that just never happened.
Character development. What the hell is this? He's not learning anything.
I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? There's no B plot about how fucking stupid liberals are. Yeah,
Oh my
no, so
God.
I got to the end of
That's actually
episode... I got to the end of episode 1, I was like, okay, how long do they keep going until they get to the actual show? And then my stepdad was like, this is the actual show, and I was like, okay, I'm leaving.
Oh my Lord. That's actually funny that you thought it was like a bit. That's actually really funny.
I
Not that I make fun of you.
legitimately thought it was a bit.
That is actually really fucking funny. 'Cause
God.
I was well aware of who Tiger King was before that. I haven't watched the documentary myself, but I knew who Tiger King was. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Like
totally.
I'm big on like internet shit and all
Oh
that.
yeah, I would
So, like,
imagine.
and shit like that. Weird people like that. And I just like to me that's unimaginable because I knew about Tiger King. So I'm just sitting there like, holy crap! How's Eggman's? What the fuck, Eggman?
Man, Eggman really used his brain. He realized that we can't destroy the bouncers, so he came up with the ultimate plan of just doing this. However, he didn't account for his own weakness, being the bars on the side.
What do you understand that like him being upside down? Like the poor dude, the blood like he's going like he's got like blood
Dude,
like
he's going to
draining into
have
his
such a fucking headache by the end of this battle. He's not going to be able to think straight, and he's going to make fucking, I don't know, the Death Egg robot from Sonic Forces.
Sonic Underground.
Sonic Underground! Triplets born, the throne awaits. A seer warns of a deadly fate.
That's how Sonic Underground was made. He was like fucking upside down for too long. Oh, I thought you would get crushed if you stood under that. That's okay. I'm happy they didn't do that because I
Yeah.
hated that. That's actually how I died in Chemical Plant. I kept getting crushed between the blocks.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty
no.
sure. I think Radical Soda did that too.
Oh, I think so. Oh wow, I won.
Oh my god, you won.
And it only took me 6 minutes and 39 seconds.
Dude, is that a Jetpack Joyride reference? Is that a Jetpack Joyride reference by
Dude.
Dr. Eggman?
I can't believe we made a fucking Jetpack Joyride reference.
Holy shit. No, but like, deadass.
I'm waiting for a dead ass.
Oh, what is it? I always forget though how like when you like spend a lot of time on the internet like I do, and like or like you spend a lot of time just watching like weird videos and shit, that like things that are common knowledge to like people on the internet that you make references about all the time,
Oh.
actually are not common knowledge whatsoever.
Oh, fucking, I've had so many times like that, dude.
What is it actually? There's a really nice video by Tom Scott. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's one of the few British people I forgive.
Oh, God. Nah, dude, like, the only British people I watch are fucking Theft 9 and H-Bomber Guy.
Oh, I had no idea H. Bomber Guy was British.
Like, I think he's British? Like, I mean, like, I know he makes reference to it in a Sherlock video about, like, look, it's one of the, look, this show's, like, one of the 4 British icons that makes people think we're relevant as a nation.
Okay. And I do want to say this. My favorite, like, one of my favorite memes of all time is there's this, like, really, like, Muslim dude who is, like, he's, like, sitting there, he's, like, on a Muslim talk show, he's, like, all British television networks are I can't remember what the word is. I think it's like haram or something. He's like saying that they're bad.
Oh yeah.
And he turns to the camera and just looks at it. Except those men from Top Gear. Those Anglos are pretty funny.
Hello then, welcome to Bottom Gear. Today we're gonna be talking about how to fuck your wife.
Bottom Gear, mates. The Hammond drives a fucking toilet.
Oh god.
Hammond. That is my favorite show of all time. If you get me started, I will start going off. I fucking love that show.
Oh god, dude, I've never watched
fucking moron.
I've never watched Bottom Gear, but I would love to.
It is a very fun show. It actually sparked like a bit of an interest for me in cars, just because like how fucking insane they are about it. What is it? My favorite bit from the show is that for like a really long time, there's this car that they're waiting to come out. It's like not a good car whatsoever, but it's like a joke that they're really excited for it, or like James May is. And it's this bit where it's like the Dacia Sandero, and it's this like shitty car. And James May is like super hyped for it, right?
Oh yeah.
And it finally comes. And he's like, look at this, my Dacia Sandero. And then like, as he says that, they decide to take, you know, like a giant like moving truck.
Oh yeah.
They take one of those like giant semis and they just ram it right into the Sandero while he's talking to them. And he's like, no.
Oh god.
Oh my god, it's so fucking funny. But it only works because like the build up is so long. It's through like I think it's through several seasons they're waiting for the Dacia Sandero and finally gets
it's that long of a bit.
Well, yeah, it's that long of a bit because the car took forever to like actually come out. It's like talking about video games. Honestly, it really is. It's like arguing about which video game is the best, only it's cars.
Now listen here, mate. I personally think that the Ford F-150 is the greatest video game. It has the best graphics, has the best sound design. It's even got Skillet. What car can you name that doesn't have Skillet?
Actually, they hate American cars. They actually will go off about how shit American cars are.
That's great.
No, it's very great. It actually is. They make fun of America a lot, too. Which is awesome.
That sounds like my kind of show, then.
It's really funny. Jeremy Clarkson isn't the best person, but he's a very funny man.
Look, if nothing else, give him that. At least you can be funny.
He may have punched a director. The director was being kind of a dick. But you know what? He didn't rape anybody, and honestly, that's the bare minimum we can ask for nowadays, huh?
Look, honestly, like,
you might have to beep that word out just later, because that shit.
Yeah, I know there's like one person nowadays that my friend circle fucking despises to their very core nowadays. But like, if no, I'm not saying who, but fucking. I'll probably tell you after the recording, but like, at the very least, their content was funny. I can give them that one thing.
You know what I mean? There's like, I do understand the whole argument of separating the art from the artist.
Yeah, no, separate art from the artist. I can do it fine, but like that, like if you're saying that to someone who doesn't do it often, then
Actually, there's a really good. What is it? There's this man. I don't know if you ever heard of this comedian. His name is Randy Sheltface.
Probably not.
He's a very funny little puppet. But there was this bit where he was actually talking about art separating art from the artist. And during an interview, because I'm a big fan of him, and when I started super hyper fixating on things. And one of the things happened to be good old Randy they were talking about that bit, and the interviewer brought up, what about someone like, let's say, Bill Cosby? Because the original one was Ernest Hemingway, and how Ernest Hemingway wasn't exactly the best person in the world, but he made some really good art. So really, can you separate his personal life from the books that he wrote, right? And that was the whole thing. And he actually brought up and the interviewer was like, well, what about someone like Bill Cosby? He's like, I wish someone in the audience brought that up. He's like, because that's a really good question. What about someone like Cosby? And what they came to the conclusion, like both of him had like a really long discussion, and it's actually something that I agree with completely and utterly, and it's something I agree with completely utterly, is that it depends on how integral, first what they did, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, totally.
And also how integral they are to the works. So like for example,
it
something
also
like,
depends on like, you know, if the work has, say, aged well. Because I know there's plenty of works that people can't watch nowadays because a person may have said a thing that's very ironic considering what actually happened to said person.
yes. But what is it? For example, and this was, I don't know if you ever watched The Joker.
The movie?
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah, no, I watched that. Fucking my.
Okay. You know his theme song where like he's dancing. It's like, "Dah." It's Rock and Roll Part 2. I don't know if you know that song.
Oh, like I know what you're talking about at the very
Just
least.
that, "Dah, da." It's like that thing that was in all the trailers and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, that song was made by a convicted pedophile. But the thing about it is, when you listen to that song, you don't think about it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
This is gonna be this is probably a hot take and a fucking half, honestly. But you don't. He's not an integral part of that. For all we know, fucking Jonah Hill or like could make that song, and like you'd be like, oh yeah, good song, and it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter who made it. It still would be the song itself. You can separate it really easily from him because it doesn't include him. It's it's an instrumental piece, essentially.
Oh yeah.
I think you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. Like, I think it especially helps that music is such a subjective form of media.
Yes. Well, everything is a subjective form of media.
Yeah, no, but I feel like music especially.
Oh, music, yeah, because music is very much up to the interpretation, you know, sometimes. But, like, it's always up to, like, shows, there's always a specific theme they want to go for and stuff like that, and, like, games and stuff. There's usually, like, a more specific, but music often gives a lot more wiggle room, I would say. Because you have to interpret, there's no other way to interpret it other than what you're hearing. Also the same with, like, regular art, though. But what is it? Gary Glitter, that's his fucking name. For example, like, what am I trying to, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm going off on a tangent. And
it's
you ever go on a
fair.
tangent and, like, you ever go on a tangent, but then you forget
what
you were, like, talking about in the middle of the tangent?
Like, occasionally. Every now and then.
It happens to me all the time, and I hate it. The point is that, oh yeah, right, I was gonna bring Bill Cosby into this.
Yeah.
The Bill Cosby Show. That's completely different than, let's say, Rock and Roll Part 2. Because Rock and Roll Part 2, you can separate it really easily, because really you don't have to, like, know anything about Gary Glitter to enjoy the work, or, like, go, oh, look, that's Gary Glitter. You can honestly, like, say, oh, it's a cool song without Gary Glitter being a part of it, because he's not essential to it, to the enjoyment.
Yeah.
The Bill Cosby Show!
On the other hand...
Oh, Lord, Bill Cosby is an integral part of it. Bill Cosby is a really big part of it.
Yo, did you see what Knuckles was doing right there?
Yeah, I did. What the fuck did
What the fuck was that?
He's having a seat. We're talking about a convicted rapist, and Knuckles is just going,
Yeah, no, Knuckles like, nah, fuck this shit, I'm out.
We're getting into, like, a really serious talk about, like, separating the art from the artist. And, like, it's a legitimate discussion to have, though, is that what is too far? Where can you draw the line? And that line is subjective to everybody. Like, for example, I happen to like Rock and Roll Part 2. I think it's a very fun song because, again, fucking Joker.
Yeah.
But I think my personal line is drawn where they are not essential parts of that piece of art. Where, like, without them, the piece of art would still work.
Yeah, no, because, like
if you remove the name Gary Glitter from it, it would still be a good song. But if you remove Bill Cosby from the Bill Cosby Show, you know what I mean? It wouldn't work.
Oh yeah, totally, because, like, it is his show.
Yeah, it's like his show. Or, like, Fat Albert, for example.
Oh, Fat Albert, that's
Bill Cosby made that. That's a little hard because on one side, like, yeah, Fat Albert is not Bill Cosby, and like parts of it you can remove, but Bill Cosby still played like an essential role in that shit too. Like he was like there was actually parts like in the middle of the show, and it wouldn't make sense without it if they just continued the plot without it. So it's really hard in some cases. If the point of me saying this is that well, what's the general point? I'll sum it up here so we don't stop talking about like really serious shit.
Oh yeah, no,
the first fucking video, and we're already talking about like really serious shit.
Oh yeah.
Basically, separate artists from. You're allowed to do that. Just be aware that my rule of thumb for separating the art from the artist is just how fucking Stardust Speedway. How bad. This is I love this. I actually really love this. But just it depends on what they did and how like integral it is to the show. That's my rule of thumb. If you can like remove them easily from the show and it would still make sense, I think it's like J.K. Rowling from Harry Potter, where like she's not necessary to know, so you don't need to care about the fact that she's transphobic. Yeah, like Harry Potter. That's actually a really great example. Thank you for actually bringing that up. Like you don't need to know who J.K. Rowling is to enjoy Harry Potter. Or like you don't even need to associate with it. You could remove J.K. Rowling from the front of the Harry Potter novels and it would still read the same, right? Yeah. That's a perfect point. But let's say, I need a... let's say it's like an author self-insert. Yeah, or like, even like with that, or let's say, actually perfect, like Onision. Yeah, like Onision. There you go, that's a perfect one as well. Fucking like, God. I remember when I'm sorry for interrupting you, like when you're trying to make a point. Oh, it's fine. I already made the point. Okay, you made it better. Oh yeah, no, cause like I remember when I was first watching a video talking about Onision's like third book, I think it was, like the one where he's just becomes an X-Men and kills God, who's also an incel. Did you watch Kappa Kaiju? I watched Kappa Kaiju. Oh god, I watched Kappa Kaiju. He wasn't my first video talking about the book, but I did watch his video, and I fucking love his content. I know, I love Kappa Kaiju. But yeah, so that's the one. That's where I learned of that. That's fuck that. Yeah, no, like when I first heard of the story, Blind, my first reaction was, what kind of stupid fanfic did this man write? Oh lord, God. He's actually part of the reason why I actually fear sometimes, because actually what I really want to do, and it's something I've always wanted to do, is I want to just put my pride aside, and I want to write a stupid little fucking fan fiction one of these days. I'm gonna try it. Yeah, I'm gonna stick my hand in the peanut butter jar, and I'm gonna do it. Yeah, but the problem is that Onision has kind of ruined part of that image for me because his books are so shit. And I'm just thinking like, I don't want to be an Onision, you know what I mean? Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I think personally, the dumbest thing, I think one of the dumbest things in the third book, because there's a lot of dumb things in that book, but the thing that really gets me is that part where he basically just becomes God and gives women fucking teeth on their vaginas. And the dude's all like, dude, why the fuck did you do this? And he's like, look, men have their fangs. I think women should have them too. What? I forgot about that. What the fuck does that mean? I'm not entirely sure myself. Does Onision have a penis? Because we don't have teeth on our penises, like... Like, I think it's supposed to be a thing of, like, oh, men abuse women or whatever, because I think that's a theme in the book, maybe? Isn't he an abusive person, though? I think so, but I think he wants to ignore that because it destroys his narrative. I'm pretty sure he's guilty of a lot of that. Holy... That's funny, I'm sorry. Oh, yes. Yeah, no, I love the juxtaposition of us playing Sonic and we're just talking about fucking Onision's teeth vagina. I'm never going to... Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, my shocked reactions to fiction will never be more shocking than the teeth vagina. How does a human being write that? I don't
Honestly,
understand.
I don't know.
I will say, it actually has made me self-aware when I start thinking because I always think of like characters in my mind and shit when
Oh,
I'm
dude,
bored.
same. Like,
And
I was out for a walk today, I was thinking up things from my Bleach fanfiction, then accidentally just came up with my own fucking original anime again.
but well, one of the things that I always do is I always like, and legitimately this Onision has made me self-aware to this is this character a self-aware?
Yeah, I know, it's
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
am I like, you know what I mean? Like it, because I think that's a legitimate problem where like someone just, how do I put it? I'm trying to word that. I'm very bad at wording things sometimes,
Yeah,
so I'm
it
trying to be careful with
happens.
it. When someone like, what is it? You see the world through yourself.
Yeah.
Really, in every single light of the sense, every story is in some way a self-insert. Oh, hey, there's the Sonic. What is it?
There's the
Sonic
CD thing.
CD.
There's
Yeah,
the
the
thing where
CD
you go
reference.
through time and we go to the future.